I started out thinking that I could use my strength to empower someone to achieve something that to them seemed fantastic. Who better to extend my hand to than an out-of-shape, middle-aged blind man? I had no idea that my friend would ultimately save me from defeat and show a strength even greater than my own. Hello. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
All right.
Hey, good to see you.
Hey.
Look at that. Thanks. This is my friend Ray Taylor. Due to congenital cataracts, Ray was born totally blind. At the age of 2, Ray underwent various surgical processes which enabled him to have 10% of his vision restored. In 1989, doctors informed Ray that his vision would continue to deteriorate with little hope of restoration. As Ray's vision dissipated, depression crept in. It was at this moment that I had the honor of meeting this strong-willed man as he set foot in the gym and began to focus on something positive. Okay. Those cords popping out of there. Massive veins.
Oh!
Hey, fantastic. Good going. That's
The kid
great.
forgets I'm 52, not 25 like him. Oh, loving it.
If Ray wants to do anything, he does it. He is the most determined, stubborn man I've ever met, but in a nice way. Ray is never so addicted to his own ideas that he won't change them. He listens to advice, but he also is very, very determined. When you consider that a good meal to him was 2 chocolate bars and a large bag of chips and a 2-liter pop, and I'd say, what did you have today? When I'd come home from work, I'd say, what did you eat today? I had vegetables and fruit, and I had this, and of course vegetables would be potato chips. And it was a joke, but Ray's always been absolutely certain that the way he lives his life is perfectly good enough for him and good enough for anybody else if they care to adopt that type. So he was a 1 meal a day man. He had all the usual symptoms of a man that is a total couch potato. He weighed 230 or 40 pounds. By gosh, he got hold of Sebastian and he started him on this wonderful journey.
When I first met Sebastian, it was back around 91, I was quite impressed with him. He had a great physique on him for a kid, and he was a kid at that time of 15. So then he competed. I believe he competed pretty well every year after that. I think he competed at 16, he competed at 17, he competed at 18, 19, and right up. And he accumulated quite a list of impressive titles along the way, one of them being the Atlantic Junior Championships, New Brunswick Juniors. He actually represented New Brunswick in the Canadian Nationals, where he finished second that year. And I've covered him in Muscle Mag, and I also have a monthly column, and I've shown Sebastian in there on a number of occasions where he's done well, and I've mentioned him and focused on him and tried to give him the kind of publicity that his type of drug-free or natural look physique is worthy of.
Hello?
Hello, Ray.
Yeah, Sebastian.
How you doing?
Good, man. Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. I want to know what you think about going in a masters bodybuilding competition at the New Brunswicks in the fall.
You're out of your mind. Are you out of your mind?
Like, he keeps driving me, and I keep tormenting him. I keep saying, like, just exactly how far are you going to go with this carrot? I mean, he keeps moving it and moving it.
And I thought I'd love to find someone like Ray that could transform in such a dramatic way in so short a period of time if they're willing to give it the effort. Problem was I couldn't find anyone that was going to probably work that hard. And you know, I really believe this was something that could have a powerful and profound effect on a lot of people. And it made me think that maybe what I could do is suggest to Ray that he do a bodybuilding competition himself. So your weight's dropped a couple more pounds. It's great. Fantastic.
Not enough.
Well, you know what?
We rely a lot on his opinion and his direction. Ray has great respect for what Sebastian says. He is astounded by Sebastian's knowledge. And it's funny because Sebastian's half Ray's age. Like, he's a child compared to Ray. But they have formed a friendship that is just, I find it unbelievable. Ray, I don't think he's ordinary. Far from it. I don't think he's ordinary. And if I wanted to get really, well, I guess I call it strange just to protect myself, but I say God has a purpose for everyone, and he's living his. I think people looking at him must feel foolish when they say they can't do something. And people say, oh, it must be so difficult him losing his sight. Well, of course it's difficult. I mean, no one, absolutely no one can imagine what it must be like to lose your sight. I certainly can't imagine. And my biggest handicap when it comes to being with him, and he doesn't like it very well, but I forget he's blind. I simply forget, because he does everything. That's just the way he is.
Come on. Come on.
Good push. You must feel a burn there.
I thought you said they were made of styrofoam.
This is really heavy stuff.
Push me up. When you're doing this.
Actually, the styrofoam wasn't in the budget, eh?
No, but when you're doing this, it pays to have somebody working with you that's a little stronger than you are. As long as one of us can lift them, it's all right.
I know when I first walked into the gym, I was a great big, huge, massive blob of fat, pretty well. And I remember sitting there and thinking to myself, as I looked around and thinking to myself, you know, geez, do I belong here? What I have noticed, and perhaps what people may not really be able to understand or accept is it's not just my body that has changed. My mind has changed. I think differently.
To eat properly, to get the right amount of sleep, to train hard enough, to take your body to the extent that you're standing on a stage and being judged based on your efforts is something that even someone with all their eyes, hands, feet, faculties about them, they will never do. I think internally though, and more importantly, the accomplishment for Ray can be and the example that he plays and becomes for people who see themselves as being unable to accomplish something which to them seems fantastic.
Went to Halifax for surgery on my right eye. I have advanced stages of glaucoma, which is causing the deterioration in my sight at the moment. They were very concerned that without this surgery, I would surely lose the sight in the right eye within the next year or year and a half. Unfortunately, the surgery didn't work as well as they had hoped, and my sight has continued to deteriorate, and it's deteriorating at perhaps a much more rapid pace than was first anticipated.
One of the things I'm thinking that is the universal symbol of blindness is the white cane. And have you given some thought? I can see a reaction on your face, right? Have you given some thought to being a white cane user?
A lot.
Yeah. A finely tuned instrument.
Indeed, quite a moment. Another hurdle crossed, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, give it time, give it time.
But nevertheless, life goes on, as the fellow says.
I don't want to portray that this is a negative experience. It's not a negative. It's the farthest thing from a negative experience. It's just that today is just not one of my better days. I mean, I've had some good ones and some bad ones, but this is. I don't want people to think that this is just a breeze, that you can just do this. I mean, there's been a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of determination, a lot of dedication, but most importantly, there's been a heck of a lot of support by a lot of people. My wife, my son, a lot of friends, and of course Sebastian. I mean, without Sebastian, we wouldn't be here today. So I don't want to be too negative, but I think it's important that people understand that you don't just walk through this sort of thing. He puts a lot of demands on me that maybe he's used to, because he's been doing this for years. But I guess he just wants me to be successful, because he knows how much it will mean to me, and he's right about that part of it. It will be quite a day, regardless of what the outcome is. Just to step out there, thinking about where I was a year or so ago, well, 13 months.
When he called me to ask if I would do another 12-week challenge with him, I said, well, I'm not going to put an emphasis on a 12-week challenge. If you'd like me to train you, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do something. In my mind, what I was trying to say, I guess, is I'd like to do something for you that's even bigger than that. It's going to get you to take yourself to another level, you know. And so I proposed this idea of going into a bodybuilding contest, you know, and Ray thought it was quite an exciting idea, but I don't think I really took the time to really explain where it was I was trying to go with that. You know, that what I really wanted to see for Ray was that, you know, he shows something of inspiration to people that is going to not just maybe change them for seeing, but transform his life and his opportunities as a result, because people are going to want to know how he's done this. You know, we're doing a story here, and the story about what Ray is going through is the most important thing. And And I had the opportunity to do what I should have done a long time ago and just sort of tell him where I envision this going for him and what I want to see and what I want to be along for the ride on it. But I think that Ray, you know, being the key figure here is a guy that stands to really see something through this, and I almost screwed it up by not sharing that very important aspect with him. So now I've done that, and we can kind of pick up, and now we're both feeling like we want to give 100%. The day of, or the night before the show.
Yeah.
Like you're not lacking in the area of definition
No.
in your arms. I mean, you're.
Look at the forearm. I was saying to David last night, look at the side. I look like Popeye. Look.
It's sticking right out there. Yeah.
Another thing that I've learned from this bodybuilding is to ask for help.
Remember I told you about the chocolate bars?
I've always been a kind of an individual, and because of my disability, I've always seen asking for help as maybe people looking upon it as a weakness in my character. And I had no idea that people would do that. I had no idea that all you really had to do was just reach out and ask. And it was probably the smartest thing I ever did in my whole life, next to the actual bodybuilding itself.
Doing these kind of poses, which are more, you know, that kind of idea.
It's just a pleasure to work with the guy. It's just incredible. And I admire him for what he's trying to do. He works very, very hard at this sport. So I know that he's going to succeed because he set himself a goal and he's working towards it. And with that kind of inspiration, how could I not succeed? I mean, come on. I have to succeed. If I don't, he's bigger than I am. That's another thing. He could give me an awful good going over.
Well, that's it, right? Let's go. When I started doing this, it was I had a dream to do something, and a lot of people have dreams to do things in their life, and they somewhat believe it's possible, you know, to achieve those dreams, but they don't go after them. I want people to realize when they see the conclusion of this, that whatever that is, even if it has nothing to do with bodybuilding, that dream can turn into reality if you take those first 2, 3, then 4, then 5 steps towards it, and actually move out of it being a dream and making it into an active reality, you know. And that's not done all of a sudden. You have to just start with the smallest thing and work your way up the mountain with it, and eventually you can do something that for most people would be absolutely unbelievable. And that's, I think, what we've done.
Ray, on the other hand, he's the type of guy that we love to see compete. Someone that can overcome far more obstacles than a guy that's born with good genetics. He's an ambassador for self-improvement, for achieving a goal that you set for yourself, a realistic goal. Probably didn't look very realistic when he started, but he certainly chipped away at it. Ray doesn't have the genetics, but he has the same grit, the same desire, the same will to win as someone who's a gifted athlete. And that's what he's got to be credited for. He could have easily given up along the way. He could have easily said, to heck with this.
Honestly, he didn't say, yep, they were,
Does he know that I'm in the old people's category?
oh yeah, you checked off.
Look, when you hand that to me, at least put it up right. Love it.
You checked off master's class though, right?
What? I don't know.
Oh,
You filled
that's
it
right.
out.
Yeah, I know I checked off master's. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't miss this.
How do think that no, you didn't really.
Yeah. Like half a pound more, I would have been a light heavy.
That is
Couldn't believe it.
awesome.
I was like mentally telling myself to lift off the scale. I was trying to levitate just a little, you know, just to get that extra half pound out there.
I'm quite glad. Yes, I really am.
Yeah.
He's someone Bass will always know. They'll always be connected in some way because of this. Because I really think Sebastian has helped Ray change his life. I don't think Ray will ever be an overweight man ever again. And I think it's helped his eyesight, and I think it's helped him gain his confidence. I think Ray believes he can do anything now.
176 on the button.
What's that?
At that rate, I can bench press you.
Yeah. I'll help you pump up tonight. So he doesn't have anything to worry about, but he's a little stressed, so I want to kind of calm him down, and hopefully I'll be able to get some rest myself too. You know, I think that's pretty much it though for tonight, because I think everything else has been taken care of. The rest will take care of itself. Just show up and hit the poses, and hopefully it'll all go okay.
For me, I've really done what I set out to do, and that was to get here. And I know now it's just a matter of a few hours before I step out on the stage. It's a little bit, I know it's a competition, but for me, the actual stepping onto the stage was the goal that I had set for myself, and it was the prize that I was looking for, because I'm really only competing against myself.
Some people, sorry. Details. Let's get that. Need a little more water? Just for your posing routine, that's it. But that's strictly your time. Do you want a little water? Yeah.
No, really. Yeah.
You're doing great. Fantastic. Oh, listen, you should have seen me out there the first time. Arms all over the place. But actually, everyone was shaking up there. You couldn't see it, but they're all shaking. Everyone's nerves are on edge right now. Oh yeah. So and everyone's in the same boat on this one. Everyone's shaking. Everyone's nervous about posing. So you're not alone on that one. I'm nervous about my posing. I'm probably gonna shake like crazy when I get there.
Competitor in the men's masters category is 51 years of age. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. Weighed in last night at 161 pounds. Comes to us from Dumfries, New Brunswick, where he owns his own convenience store. He trains at the Health Styles Gym in Fredericton and has been training for the past year. His interests include music, TV, and bodybuilding. In his first contest, let's have a big round of applause for competitor number 8, Ray Taylor.
The judge called for that first pose. I kind of had this sensation and this feeling that, wow, I've arrived, you know, like I made it. I made it after all these months. I actually got here.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And I came off stage, and I'm going around and back, and they're all congratulating. They were all really great guys and great sports, you know, and they were very, very impressed with what I had been able to do, and they all congratulated me, and they all kind of said, you know, my God, man, that took a lot of guts.
That's great.
Listen, I wish I could have seen the look on your face up a little bit.
Oh, listen, you did fantastic. You hit all your beats, man. It was amazing. That's great. But that was the beginning of a very long haul.
Well, at least I placed fourth.
That's right. That's right.
Can't beat that.
No?
First time around. Oh, boy.
And like these guys were like giants. At least I thought they were.
A heck of an experience. One I'll never forget. I'll be back next year. Show these guys. I'll be competing in his class. No more of this over 50 crap for me. Competition ain't stiff enough up here.
There you go.
I was just totally at awe with Sebastian when I saw him out back. I didn't know enough about the sport to really know how well he would do, but I felt that he definitely is going to be in the medal rounds, and he's definitely in there as a contender.
The second competitor in the senior men's middleweight division is 25 years of age. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighed in last night at 175.5 pounds. Comes to us from the capital of Fredericton, New Brunswick, where he's employed as a producer and actor. He trains at Health Styles Gym and has been training for the past 11 years. His interests include acting, producing, and of course, after the show, eating. His previous contest placings include in 1998, he was a world qualifier in the middleweight division, he placed 6th. In 1996, he competed in the Canadian National Juniors, and he placed 2nd in the lightweight division. He placed 1st overall in the juniors at the Atlantics in 1995, and 1st overall at the Moncton Invitational in 1995. Certainly no stranger to the stage. Let's welcome him back, competitor number 22, Sebastian MacLean. of age. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighed in at 164 pounds. Comes to us from Buckfish, New Brunswick. He's employed as a carpenter in the mountain area.
Gotta get a personal team. Yeah, that was not as good as this morning, though.
For the past 15 years. Previous contest placements
Got a little sharper for the evening, but flubbed over the posing a little bit. Had to give a little take on that.
When they started handing out the awards, and first of all, he wins his category, I was just kind of blown away, and I thought, wow, that's fantastic.
Anyone owns any stock in a restaurant, however you come, we're going to move on to the senior men's light heavyweight division, and we have 3 competitors. The first competitor
Guess I'm going into the overall. What? Guess I'm going into the overall.
Oh, that's an automatic.
Oh, yeah.
And his posing is just incredible. I mean, he is such a natural. Of course, he has a mother who is a former professional dancer, and he kind of has it kind of in the family a little bit. Now they're down to best overall, Mr. New Brunswick sort of thing, and he's of course in the running for that. And they start announcing the second runner-up and the runner-up, and then bang, the winner.
This year's 2001 New Brunswick bodybuilding champion, men's overall winner is competitor number 22,
Sebastian. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. I mean, the guy cleaned up. He really and totally cleaned up. And that's fantastic.
Nice, huh?
Good job there, buddy.
Thanks very much.
Overall winner, what?
Your own personal trainer turns out to be Mr. New Brunswick. I couldn't have been any prouder of the kid.
I thought I might get a weight class. I didn't think I'd get all the plastic in the shell. Well, it's on to the candidates, right? That's it for this one.
He's been such an inspiration to me, and he keeps saying, you know, Ray, you inspire me, you inspire people, and all that kind of stuff. I just think, you know, the guy he's really changed my life, and goodness only knows what I would be doing today if it hadn't been for what he's been able to help me through.
It was an amazing weekend. Not only did I win and get to see Ray compete, the national officials, they were so impressed they asked me to bring Ray to the national event when I compete there next week. Even though he isn't a national caliber bodybuilder, they felt his transformation was so impressive they wanted him on stage as a special guest poser. The national competition, though, it's the country's biggest show, and Ray's already pushed incredibly hard. I don't know if he's going to want to put himself or Gail through any more of this. This next event isn't going to be like the last one for me. I'm a natural bodybuilder going into a non-drug tested event against bodybuilders that are the best in the country. That means a lot of massive bodybuilders. In 1 week, I have to be in the best shape I've ever been in.
At Halifax, they wanted me to guest pose, which put me in a bit of a spotlight. There was no competition involved here. It was just go out there on stage and do your thing. And then they come and tell me that not only do they want me to do that, but they want me to open the second half of the show. Well, let me tell you, was I nervous? The question is, I guess I was.
First, our car broke down a couple days ago, and so we borrowed a friend's car, so we go to Halifax, and now we're about 45 minutes away, or half an hour away from Fredericton, and this car has broke down. The alternator's shot, so we have to be in Halifax at 6 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock now, and it takes about 4 hours, at least maybe 4.5 hours to get there. So I don't know if we're gonna get to the weigh-in on time. So we sat there for 2 hours, 3 hours. Finally got rental situation worked out, and we floored it all the way to Halifax. The whole way I knew I was going to be late in my mind, because according to the information that I had, we had to be there at 6:30 and we were going to be there at 7 o'clock. And we pulled in and it was 7 o'clock. I thought I was late. I ran in, panicked and strained, and when I got there they said they bumped it ahead an hour. So I had half an hour to get everything pulled together, but in that time I was told I had to get a photo taken and then get to the weigh-in. So that stress factor in getting there definitely had an effect on me in some way.
Perfect. Now you have to take this, go up to the 8th floor, get your picture taken, because the promoter is making sure that
This is the pinnacle of bodybuilding in Canada.
The best of the best.
The very best of the best in the country.
For the males, of course, the bigger, the more muscular, the better.
Once you're standing there in the wings, you know that nothing you can do at that point is going to matter. The reward is just getting there in and of itself. The victory also is in seeing Ray get to his end and be able to be up there with him and to support him and stand by him on this one as well. You can go to the weigh-in, and it doesn't matter if you're the best looking athlete in the whole contest. You'll take your shit off, look in the mirror. You think that you look terrible, you know, because you've just seen guys stripping down and getting on scales and getting weighed in that look great. And I'm sure to them, you look great too, but in your mind, it's this battle that you're going through that you could have done something more. You're not as sharp, or you're flat, or something, and it's the same thing backstage. You're even looking at guys that are 20, 30 pounds lighter than you, thinking, man, that guy's in incredible shape. I can't imagine beating him, let alone, you know, the guy in my weight class. If I get up there, though, and people are reminded of or are interested in, once again, in getting back to what is good and healthy and clean and void of implants and that kind of thing about the sport, so that it's brought back to something that it used to be.
Thank you, gentlemen. You can exit the stage. Thank you.
There's a lot of mass on that stage, huh? I mean, I don't think I made a fool of myself, but I don't think necessarily I'm standing in the top 5. I'm going to be surprised if I'm in the top 5 on that one, just because
those guys were thick, thick, thick. And it's just so hard to hold that thickness when you're training naturally. But it's, it was a good workout, that's for sure. A long time, a lot of comparisons on the stage. So I'm just glad I got up there and got to stand up next to those guys. You know? So tonight we'll just see what they say. It was good to get here, and I get to watch Ray up there regardless. So that's what it's all about.
He was up against some very stiff competition, and it's very difficult sometimes for natural bodybuilders to really compete on the main stage. But I'm not a bodybuilder. Like I'm just a 51-year-old guy who's lost 70 or 80 pounds and gained a few pounds of muscle. So when I stepped out on stage in Halifax, I had no idea how people were going to react.
A very special person is here tonight. His name is Ray Taylor, and I have a message here from Ray. 1 year ago, Ray Taylor was the last person anyone would have thought might compete in a bodybuilding competition. However, with the help of his friend, Ray set his sights on overcoming his limitations and defying the odds. So we're going to welcome Ray Taylor onto the stage right now to show us that there are no limits.
Did my thing, and I started back towards the back of the stage, and somebody grabbed a hold of me and said, "Man, they're all on their feet out there. You got to go back out." And I said, "What?" "Oh yeah, they're giving you a standing ovation. You got to go back out there." So I thought, "Oh Lord, no!" So out I go. Now I see the judges standing, and I thought, "Oh my God, what have I got myself into?" And this time I'm just shaking like a leaf. I must have been bouncing on that stage because I just couldn't get myself together at all.
Putting it on the line for yourself, and it doesn't really matter who you're comparing yourself to.
It was an incredible experience, and it really, I think it really made me realize, I hate to say this, but I really think that it did have an impact on some people there that night. And for that, I guess I should be proud of well, I am proud of what I did, but maybe we can help a few people. Maybe we can inspire some people through all of this. And if that's the case, even if we just inspire one individual or two through all of this, it certainly is going to make it worthwhile. It's been a worthwhile experience for me, I know that.
when you're out there all alone. You have to make it on your own. Listen to the voice that guides you home. Take it one